Greetings and welcome to the 9th episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters, and as always, I'm your host Dark Elf Guy. Today we have another 3 random house mods for your viewing pleasure as we try and find your dream home in Cyrodiil. You guys probably know the drill by now, but you can find download links for each mod shown down in the video description below. So why don't we just go ahead and get started with our popular house mod, which this time around is Dwemer Technology Part 2, Dwemer Skyship by Mr. Sika and Centurion. Now this isn't exactly a straightforward house mod like many of the more popular housing mods we've covered in the past. This one involves a bit of a quest and dungeon delving before you can even lay eyes on this Dwemer Skyship home. And this dungeon can be divided into 2 bits really. There's a first part that consists mainly of caverns with bits of Dwemer ruins here and there, and lots of hostile creatures. Then there's the second part that's more of an open air space with again more of those Dwemer ruins in evidence. And here you'll find a Dwemer immortal guarding the secrets of the Dwemer's great airships with a fair amount of voice acted dialogue and a short boss battle included. And once you've done all that though, you'll be the proud owner of your very own Dwemer airship, which you can see here parked in its starting location up in the Velorthi Mountains along the border of Morrowind. And it has a lot of that Morrowind Dwemer charm about it, with those, iconic electric lights, steampunk pipes and gadgets and all of that neat stuff. And here you can see the airship on the map, and because it can be summoned to any location, along with its map marker, your new Dwemer airship home is only ever as far away as you want it to be, and, as such, you can have a pretty short commute to any of the major cities. And since this is obviously a house mod, you'll find some rather cozy living quarters for your character on the ship, including a captain's cabin, which is sort of a study, master bedroom, and storage area all rolled into one, including a small library as well as a fair number of decorations to make you feel at home. There's a ton of storage with chests and cabinets, and also some cool Morrowind related additions as well, with a map of Vvardenfell and a lot of Dwemer related items. And down below decks you'll find a number of other rooms, including guest quarters for companions, so I think they were originally meant for the Dwemer crew, considering, they're pretty short beds and all. And there's also a kitchen right across the way for the crew. And given that this is an airship, you'll also find an engine room down below decks, which is a nice immersive feature. And you also find plenty of containers down here as well, including a wide array of nostalgia-inducing Dwemer items imported from the lands of Resdayn and Vvardenfell, with Dwemer tubes and gears cluttering the shelves, and just tons of stuff like that. And you also find a small blacksmith room, and there's also a small alchemy lab that even includes a kitchen sink. And the alchemy lab here actually includes an auto alchemy setup that you can see here, and there's also ingredient sorters included for both vanilla Oblivion ingredients and Shivering Isles ingredients, which will be sorted into these 2 cabinets here when activated, which is just a really handy, convenient feature to have. And one of the last rooms below decks is a rather small display hall, with a lower level that includes several glass display cases, and an upper level that contains additional bookshelves that you can use for displaying more items if you so desire, as well as several containers for storing, something extra. And finally, there's also the ship's bridge, which is, more of a cosmetic room, really, with knobs and levers and buttons and things like that, including another map of Vvardenfell. Though there's also some storage in here, and you'll usually find a Dwemer immortal in here piloting the ship. And I mentioned this earlier, but the ship comes with a summoning spell that you can use to summon it anywhere in Cyrodiil. Just cast a spell and the airship will appear in the skies above. All in all, this Dwemer Skyship is a lovely and practical house mod with a ton of convenience features, such as an alchemy lab with ingredient sorters, a spell to teleport your airship anywhere, and something I didn't show off here, there's also a parachute you can use to jump off the ship and land safely on the ground. It's just a really fun house mod with a ton of cool features, and next up we're taking a look at our new house mod of the week, Ironhurst Estate by Daggerlas. And this mod adds a lovely estate near the city of Coral, including a small lake, stables, some forested grounds that kind of blend in well with the highlands out here, and of course the main manor house, which is quite rustic in appearance, with ivy and flowers decorating the main facade here, and of course the estate has some lovely views of Cyrodiil's northwestern highlands with mountains looming in the distance. This is just a nice area that you can just sit back and relax in easily, though I should point out that Battlehorn Castle is right across the road here, and there is a minor landscape conflict between this mod and the official DLC by Bethesda, which is just something you should keep in mind. And looking at the map here, Ironhurst Estate comes with its own map marker, and it has a very short commute to Coral. The estate itself isn't that far away from the city's walls, and should be easy to get back to even without the map marker. and inside you'll find a fairly standard fare upper-class coral manor, including a fair, nicely decorated dining room off the main entry hall here, a lounge in the foyer, and a bit of a display space around the central dividing wall. We showcased a few other homes that used this template before, so the layout may seem just slightly familiar to most of you. That said, on the second floor you'll find some more display and storage space, and you'll also notice an awful lot of toy models of various structures around Cyrodiil in this home, which just sort of helps to decorate the place up a bit. And there's also a magic lab on the second floor, including altars for spellmaking and enchanting at your convenience. And finally, on the top floor, we have the master bedroom, including a table for alchemy, some storage, the main bed of course, a balcony that overlooks the estate, and a couple of display cases for displaying your trophies and the like. There are a couple of other rooms that weren't shown here. We usually try to avoid showing off everything, so there's still something left for you guys to discover on your own. And overall, this is a small and charming estate with a lovely view of the wilderness, and some really nice landscaping that adds to its rustic beauty. It does come with a few convenience features, such as a stable and altars of enchanting and spellmaking, not to mention a short commute to Coral, and it should prove ideal for nature lovers or those who just really enjoy the rustic charm of the countryside. For our last one today, we're taking a look at the underrated Mist Retreat by Exilehunter, and I know I've said this a lot, but this is sort of an odd but unique house mod. The first thing you might notice here is that the exterior is completely submerged beneath the waters of the Niven Bay, appearing as a hauntingly striking ruin appearing out of the watery murk. I can't think of very many house mods that require you to hold your breath in order to get to them, so that's a fairly original take to be sure. It does come with a map marker, as you can see here, and it has a fairly short commute to Breville, assuming you overlook the whole potential drowning along the way thing. Even with a short commute and map marker, it isn't exactly the most accessible of places. Once you get inside though, you'll find that the interior is composed of Shivering Isles style ruins, and naturally this does mean that the Shivering Isles expansion is required, and the atmosphere in here is, pretty dark and dank, and almost mysterious really, with a faint mist and fog in the air and lots of waterfalls adding a certain dampness to the entire interior. Now, like most house mods, it comes with a number of features you might expect, including a central lounge area, a bedroom, display area, and even a musical instrument capable of playing songs that you can customize in your Oblivion Sounds folder if you so desire. There's a really cool design in use here, what with, the water showers and all, and it just makes for a really atmospheric environment to call home. And there's a few other rooms that are included in this abode, all of which carry the same sort of, dark and atmospheric design that makes this a fairly unique house mod, though you might want to bring some of your own lamps in here to sort of lighten the place up a bit. And one of these other rooms includes some additional storage and display areas, as well as what looks like a small dining area, with a number of display cases and bookshelves nearby for showing off your various items. And this all leads into, strangely enough, a bathroom of sorts with a number of sanitary features, including the odd little toilets here, as you can see, and a towel rack, and there's even a giant bathroom mirror with a sink that actually works, which is a nice cosmetic feature that, makes a really cool effect. You can click the button here to have the water drain out, and more water will eventually pour in. And one last thing to show off here, this home also comes with a walk-in bath and pool area, which has a pretty neat option where you can take a proper bath and get a nice status boost, and depending on which option you choose, you may get different status effects. And in the end, this is a very unique and original house mod with a lot of character and atmosphere. And though it's a little hard to get to, thanks to being at the bottom of the Niven Bay, it does offer a lot of storage and display space, as well as a map marker and a fairly quick commute to Breville. And if you like unique homes or want something out of the way where people, can't find you very easily, again, this is at the bottom of the Niven Bay, this is probably a good role-playing house mod for you, and I'd recommend checking it out. And that wraps up another episode of Oblivion House Mod Hunters. There will be another episode of Oblivion Modding Showcases in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have a themed vampire episode, so if you have any particular recommendations on that front, feel free to post them below, and we'll try and include them in the video. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time with our next batch of mods.